YNW Melly, his real name is Jamel Demons. He's actually in plain clothes in the courtroom for the first time in months, again, as this judge really starts the long process of seating a new jury.
As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless.
Do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years.
Melly walked into court and was told that Bortlen has been offered a plea deal. It was announced Melly's co-defendant Bortlen was offered a 16-year plea deal and has until tomorrow to decide. He's currently facing 5 life sentences plus 75 years if he's convicted. Bortlen's plea offer details the charges he faces, as it lists 2 first-degree M's, witness tampering charges directing activities of a criminal team, and more witness tampering, which would be consolidated into 16 years with credit for time served, meaning Bortlen would be a free man within 10 years.
Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to the first degree. Those are each first-degree felony. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Is directing the activities of a criminal. That's a first-degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. And again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison.
They're creating the plea with Bortlen for many reasons, as it'll help clear up what happened in his interrogation on the night of the crime. Rather than having a fake story Bortlen made up, he will tell them what actually happened, as the officer asked if Bortlen would tell him who did the crime.
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I wouldn't want to be.
Bortlen doesn't say his answer out loud, but he shakes his head no, as Bortlen was terrified of answering with his voice, as he was worried the detective would pick up on his body language and know that Bortlen was lying. But realistically, the feds know Bortlen wasn't the main man of the crime, as they have evidence of Melly admitting to it.
The PT Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But despite Melly facing life behind bars, he remains confident on the case, because his brother said that Melly ordered a $100,000 chain while in jail.
I would assume
But still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want the chain no more.
But everything changed when the news reported Melly's double retrial has been postponed once again. During a hearing on August 8th, the Court of Appeals granted a stay in the case, meaning the trial is delayed and won't begin till January 2027. But with the feds trying to make a deal with Bortlen, they stopped all communication between him and Melly. As it was reported, a no communication order has been filed in the Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Bortlen completely separate. No talking, no lawyer talk, just silence. As they originally wanted to have them tried together, but they're happy with Bortlen Bortlen taking a plea.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Because if the feds get Bortlen, Melly's next trial will find him guilty, because Bortlen will be able to speak on everything that happened on the night of the crime, as there's no way he's willing to face multiple life sentences for the crime that he didn't commit. What makes Bortlen even more likely to snitch on Melly is that Melly tried pinning the crime on Bortlen in his first trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Revealing that it's always been Bortlen who has been telling lies to the feds. He's the one with powder on his hands, and he was the last one with Juvie and Sack Chaser, as they had an investigator go over the importance of Bortlen having powder on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of hot residue and two component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of hot residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was hot residue present on the hands.
Bortlen didn't like this at all, which is why he tweeted, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji, as if he's accepting some sort of deal, as he tweeted this out when Melly's first mistrial happened. With Bortlen already being mad with Melly for trying to pin the crime against him, Bortlen had his house raided by the feds, and what they found made the case worse.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As it was reported, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of Bortlen's home, as the drawings show where jurors sat in the courtroom, and a small description of what each of them looked like, as academics revealed how bad this was for both Bortlen and Melly's cases, as it made it look like Bortlen was going to tamper with the jurors' decision, or take them out.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on! It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But the importance of Bortlen flipping on Melly is huge, as he'll also tell the truth about Fredo Bang picking up Melly from the side of the road on that night.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Gibbons. Frederick Gibbons is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Gibbons then, about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Demons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
And in order to increase the charges against Melly, they're also including this Facebook post of Melly with Young Thug, because they're trying to say Melly's in the Red Street team.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see individuals again. I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Melly told his lawyers to just let them use it and increase his charges because he was worried about the trial being delayed. Because when you think of Melly's situation, he's been sitting behind bars for 6 years without a verdict. But it led into the report of today's hearing marks the first time Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court. As Melly was seen yelling at his lawyers,
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to their request for me to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes, sir.
people in the court heard that Melly was saying, "I don't care. I'm not in no gang." They can't prove that.
I'm aware. 924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There were things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the further conviction, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
But they also want to use this evidence of an old O Block member telling a secret that Melly told King Von. Von and Melly used to be great friends, and Melly apparently asked King Von for advice on how to deal with people.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around him?
Although to make his next trial even worse, the only reason he wasn't found guilty in the first trial is because a witness was missing. The prosecutors wanted to call Melly's ex-girlfriend to the stand. However, she left the United States before the trial and stayed out for 3 years. But she's back now and was quickly arrested.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
The judge made a deal with Mariah. The terms of Mariah being released is that she must testify in the next Melly trial. Instead of feeling guilty for testifying against Melly, she says it's out of her hands. With her saying on Facebook, "Thank you to my village. I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." The situation with Mariah added more witness tampering charges to his name, as the feds supposedly have proof Melly told her to leave the country. While witness tampering seems like a lesser crime compared to the M charges, it still carries a life sentence as punishment.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Since Melly was influencing his case with the jail phone, he's been not allowed to use it since, as the prosecutors can't risk Melly tampering with the case. As Juvie's father investigated what was going on and said how Melly tampered.
Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as YNW Bortlen, are now charged with witness tampering. There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
although it's been bad for Melly's mother, Jamie, because she hasn't been allowed to call on the phone with him anymore.
My son has not been convicted of anything. And even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Melly's phone privileges likely won't come back until his trial is completed. As Melly's mom spoke further on the situation, saying she feels heartbroken for Melly sitting in jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Although we saw Charleston White speak on Melly not being treated good in jail, as he said it's exactly what Melly deserves.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
But this got Boozie's attention, and he spoke about how he feels bad for Melly's mother.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
Having Bortlen on their side will answer an important question, as Bortlen will share why Melly and Bortlen looked happy just hours after their best friends passed. With it announced, the prosecutors updated the evidence against Melly. He didn't know he was filmed admitting to the passing of sack chaser and juvie.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey, the dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
They showed no sadness for sack chaser and juvie, but footage also caught Melly getting into the car just 30 minutes before the crime happened.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes, all right.
The official court documents read, the direction of the bullets, traveling from left to right in the car, supports the claim that they originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned, as they had Juvie's mom confirm where Melly went in the car.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But a big part of the next Melly trial will be Bortlen's interrogation, as it shows Bortlen lied to cover up for Melly. Nearly everything that Bortlen said was proven wrong at the crime scene.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music. Getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy. We're almost home. You know what I'm saying? And like just out of nowhere, like I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car.
Hey, well, Ashley,
and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway. Yeah.
Then you took 75 south?
Bortlen tried to remain confident in his story from the night, but the detective caught him in a lie.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass, nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
The police officer wanted details of actions made during the drive-by, as he wanted to get as much information as he could from Bortlen.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
With Bortlen finally realizing that the detectives don't believe him, he shut down the conversation.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, cause I told y'all what. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. And we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.